Welcome to the deep dive, where we take your comprehensive sources and, well, we cut through the noise to give you that shortcut to being truly well informed.
And if you're joining us today, you're likely interested in one of the biggest professional shifts happening right now.
Absolutely. It's this idea of how to stop just, collecting credentials and finally start monetizing the deep expertise you've spent years and probably a lot of money building.
That's our mission for this session. We're diving into a guide for, really, professional reinvention. The goal is to move from that traditional job model to becoming what some call a wealthy educator.
It's a bold term.
It is, but the idea is simple. It's about recognizing the knowledge you paid for in time and tuition, and then selling that value back to the market in a much more leveraged way.
And the sources point to this core psychological block that keeps so many skilled people stuck. They call it poor intellectual syndrome.
It's surprisingly common. It's this failure to see and then monetize your own specialized knowledge. And it's because it feels too, well, too normal to you.
Too easy.
Exactly. Think of the accountant who gives away amazing tax advice at a dinner party for free, or the engineer who solves a huge problem for a colleague in 5 minutes and thinks nothing of it. They just don't see the value in it.
Okay, let's unpack this then. The big practical question is, how do you rewire your whole professional approach to turn that stack of jobs and degrees into an actual revenue map?
We have to start high level first.
Yeah.
This isn't just a tactic, it's a fundamental strategy shift. It's not about finding a new job with a salary, it's about a complete reinvention.
Okay.
The key concept we're exploring is moving from being a credential collector, someone always focused on the next certificate, to becoming a value creator.
So knowledge stops being an entry ticket.
And it becomes the product itself,
Hmm.
a product that solves immediate, often expensive problems for people.
I really like that distinction. So let's jump right into these foundational mindset shifts because you can't build this new model with an old employee-style brain. The first big one in the sources is adopting this anti-employee vision.
Right, and this requires three fundamental flips. The first and most tangible one is the shift from relying on a single monthly salary to multiple streams.
Like a classic advice.
It is, but the sources emphasize that real stability isn't one big salary. It's 5 or 6 smaller, diverse income streams that can't all vanish at once.
But what does that look like in practice? Because multiple streams can just sound exhausting to someone already working a 50-hour week.
And that's where the model gets specific. The sources suggest a 3-tier system built around your core expertise. Tier 1 is your micro products.
Okay, what's that?
Checklists, templates, quick how-to guides. Very low price point, almost entirely passive income. Tier 2 is your guided products. This is your main engine, things like the mini courses we'll get into.
And tier 3.
That's service products. This is where you're very selective. Paid consultations, maybe a done-for-you service, where you charge premium rates for your direct time.
So it's not do more random things. It's about creating layers of products around the same block of knowledge, which I guess leads right to the second flip. Employee mindset to an entrepreneur vision.
Absolutely crucial. You have to stop seeing yourself as qualified to work for someone and start seeing that you are qualified to solve problems independently. That's the engine for this whole thing. Your talent is a solution just waiting for a price tag.
And if we start thinking that way, how do the sources say we should look at our career history differently? If my resume is now a revenue map, what am I actually looking for on it?
This is where it gets really interesting because you completely reframe those documents. Your CV isn't career history anymore. It's an income portfolio.
An income portfolio.
Yes. You're not just listing duties. You're hunting for every measurable result, every problem you solve, and seeing each one as a potential product line.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. Let's say a former HR manager. Their income portfolio might include a paid course on how to optimize a hiring funnel, a consulting service on conflict mediation, and maybe a little micro ebook on salary negotiation, all from the same core experience.
That immediately changes how you look back at your career. It's not just a list of jobs anymore. It's an inventory of valuable, monetizable solutions.
That's the synthesis. And it's why the next logical step has to be packaging. Okay, you've accepted your knowledge is valuable. Now, how do you actually build the box for it?
Let's get really practical. For professionals used to just billing hours or getting a salary, how do they start packaging that expertise? The sources say begins with a shift from skills to solutions.
Yes. Every single skill you have is a solution to someone's problem. And that problem is often painful. You have to find that pain point and then frame your skill as the cure.
So it's not, I'm good at Excel.
No. It's, here's my 30-minute system to automate your weekly sales reports so you get your Friday afternoons back. One is a skill, the other is a solution people will pay for.
And a big part of this packaging, the sources are clear, is to stop giving it away. That's the shift from free advice to paid consultation.
Your insights have real financial value. You have to stop giving away the answers it took you years and maybe thousands of dollars to learn. When someone asks for help, you should have a priced, structured offer ready,
Even if it's just a 15-minute paid call.
especially then. And for those people who are natural teachers who love explaining things, they need to go from informal helping to structured teaching.
Take that natural ability and formalize it.
Exactly. And this is where the source material gives a really brilliant, very accessible 4-module framework for creating your first digital product, like a mini course.
Okay, let's break that structure down. 4 modules, designed to be fast.
Module 1 is the introspection. It's called Understanding Your Hidden Gold. You use these reflection prompts to map out that income portfolio we talked about. You find the top 3 problems you solve easily and often.
Then Module 2 brings in the tech, which is all about leverage, the AI toolkit.
Yes, Module 2 is the leverage module. It shows you how to use simple AI tools to automate, say, 80% of the content creation. We're talking about using prompts in ChatGPT or Claude to draft your course outline, your lesson summaries, even your marketing copy.
So it moves you from being a writer to being an editor.
It completely changes the bottleneck. It addresses that I don't have time problem head on.
Makes sense.
Module 3 is product creation, just step by step, how to turn that draft into a real thing, filming short videos, formatting an ebook. And Module 4 is the critical last step, launching and monetizing. The basics of a landing page, a payment processor, a simple sales funnel.
Let's talk about pricing, because that's always the hardest part. If I'm an expert, my brain is wired to charge by the hour. How do the sources say to price based on value?
You have to completely throw the hourly rate out the window. You price based on the value and the outcome. So if your course helps a small business save, say, 3 hours of staff time a week, well, that's maybe $150 in savings every single week.
So you price your course based on a fraction of that annual savings.
Exactly. Not on the 2 hours it took you to record the videos. If you save someone $10,000, charging them $1,000 is a bargain. It doesn't matter how long it took you. You're selling the result, not your time.
That's a huge shift. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me.
Yeah.
We've laid out the structure, the product, but why do so many successful, smart professionals still freeze up? Why can't they see the value in what they know?
This is the psychological battlefield.
Yeah.
And as we touched on, the number one reason is just familiarity. Because you've been doing something for 10, 20 years, it feels.
Yeah.
Well, it feels boring to you, pedestrian. You assume everyone knows it.
You forget how hard it was to learn in the first place.
You totally forget the steep climb. And that leads directly to this nasty form of imposter syndrome. You're not comparing yourself to the beginner who desperately needs your help. You're comparing yourself to the top 1% in your field.
The person with 10 best-selling books.
Right. You think, well, I'm not that person, so I can't charge. But you only need to be 10 steps ahead of your audience. To them, you're an absolute expert.
This also ties into that weird cultural idea that knowledge, especially digital knowledge, should be free. People feel guilty charging for a PDF. How do you fight that?
You fight it by getting really clear on what people are actually paying for. They aren't paying for raw facts they could probably find online if they spend a week searching.
Right.
They're paying for curation, convenience, guidance, and a trusted voice. They're paying to save time. They're buying your years of trial and error so they can skip all of it. Time is their most valuable asset, and your course gives them time back.
So for anyone listening right now who's skeptical, who's thinking, is my knowledge really worth it? The sources give 5 diagnostic questions to ask.
These just cut right through the doubt. First, do people already ask you for advice on this topic? If they do, you have market validation right there. Second, have I solved a problem that other people are still struggling with? If yes, you're holding a key they want.
Third, could someone save significant time or money by learning what I know? That's your value proposition. Fourth, is there already a community out there interested in this? You want to serve existing demand, not create it from scratch.
And the last one, do I have unique experiences or insights? A specific method, a weird background, a niche I know inside and out. If you can say yes to these, you have a rock-solid foundation.
And for those who are still worried about being visible or that imposter syndrome, the advice is to start small and asynchronous.
Absolutely. Start with written content, a blog, an ebook, or pre-recorded courses. You can build your confidence without the pressure of being live on camera right away. It's about imperfect action. Done is better than perfect.
Okay, let's shift gears hard now to technology. Because this whole wealthy educator idea really hinges on leverage, moving from trading time to, as the sources put it, value scaling with AI.
The minute you sell a recorded course, you're already leveraging your time.
Yeah.
But AI adds this whole new layer. It moves your entire process from manual to automated, and your reach from limited to limitless.
Let's get specific on that. For a professional building this, what are the top, say, 3 things AI should automate right now?
Okay, the 3 most critical. First, automated content generation and repurposing. You take one core idea, a 2,000-word article, and an AI can instantly turn it into a Twitter thread, 5 LinkedIn posts, and a course outline.
That saves hours, days even. What's number 2?
Personalized customer experience at scale. This is a big one. You can build a simple chatbot and train it on your course content. It can then answer 70% of your customers' basic questions instantly, so you're not answering the same email 50 times.
Wow. So it feels high touch, even when it's totally automated and scaled.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
And third, data insight and optimization. AI tools can analyze your sales data, your feedback, your website traffic, and tell you exactly what's working and what isn't, so you can make smarter decisions way faster. It's like a tireless business analyst.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture, what happens to the expert who looks at all this AI stuff and just says, nope, not for me, I'll stick to what I know?
The consequence is that their knowledge, as valuable as it is, just becomes harder to package, harder to scale, and harder to compete with. In an economy that's all about speed and personalization, refusing to use AI is like, I don't know, insisting on writing letters by hand.
You just can't keep up.
You can't. Your impact stays capped by the number of hours in your day. You'll get left behind by competitors who have embraced automation. It's that simple.
Looking ahead, say 5 or 10 years, is this whole knowledge monetization trend a flash in the pan? Or is it here to stay?
Oh, it's on a major upward curve. It's going to continue to boom. The demand for very specific practical knowledge is exploding, and the market is shifting. People want micro-learning, short-focused courses. And crucially, they want to learn from individuals with real-world results, not just big, slow institutions.
You want the person who has actually been there and solved the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, final practical point. Promotion. For a lot of experts, the idea of marketing themselves feels icky, salesy. How do you promote this stuff without feeling like that?
The sources suggest a simple reframe. Stop thinking like a salesperson and start thinking like a storyteller. You just share value. You tell stories about the problems you solve and the results people get. You're not pushing a product, you're inviting people to get a solution. If you lead with genuine value, the sales just happen. No pushy tactics needed.
This whole journey then, from that first mindset flip all the way to using AI, it's really about transforming your professional influence.
Precisely. You're moving from individual impact to scalable influence. You're not just having one client in 1 hour. You're building a system that helps hundreds or thousands at the same time. That's the real definition of a wealthy educator.
But it all comes down to that final step.
It does. There's a quote in the source material I love. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is closed by action, not intention. It's the shift from dreaming to doing. You just have to build the first imperfect version.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? It means you are already qualified. You do not need anyone's permission to share what you know. You just need a structure like that 4-module system and the right tools like AI to get it out there.
You're qualified to solve problems on your own. Stop waiting for the job interview and start creating the business opportunity.
Let's leave you with this final provocative thought to mull over. We talked about moving beyond just individual achievement towards creating a legacy, so consider this. What durable system can you build today, using the knowledge you already have? A system that will keep creating value, solving problems, and generating income long after you've finished building it.
Think enduring contributions. The world needs what only you know.
We'll catch you next time for the next deep dive.